Okay, it says on this paper that we should be breaking for refreshments now. But I think what it might be an idea before doing that, just in terms of the breakout groups for after coffee, it might be just a good idea to already get you into groups before everyone scatters off, and then you can come back and scatter back into those groups. We're basically having, again, as Simon said, the 4 themes: track and trace, end-user monitoring, and emergency response as part of the supply chain content, and a 4th one, which is the design in context, which is about the process of designing solutions. What we have in the supply chain for each, whether it's track or trace, end-user monitoring, or emergency response, to try and make it a little bit structured, and again, it was based on the thought that there'd be 150 of you with an hour to discuss this, is that we had suggested 3 concepts for each of those based on what little we know about the sort of technological solutions that are out there. So what we'd like you to do in the groups is, with these 3 concepts, is just to go through the pros and cons of each one, and to discuss that, and use that as a springboard for suggesting a concept or concept or 2 that could be a mix of the 3 that we've suggested, or it could be something that your discussions take you into anyway, and going down interesting paths. Bearing in mind in all of these discussions, and I hope we've sort of highlighted the problem within our operating environment and the context we're trying to deploy this technology in. Again, referring to yesterday, Nigel had mentioned, also a colleague, who once asked him, whenever he was talking about technological solutions, is that the person proposing them would have to prove to him why this was better than paper. I think there's evidence, and from what I've seen, certainly yesterday and this morning, I think that evidence is already there, that in terms of what we can do with information, that's not paper-based. But just to bear in mind that there is a reality check that should inform the discussions. And then hopefully we'll come back together, and if we're putting them on your pros and cons and any new concept or an expanded version of our concept. Again, we did write these before we came to Web4Dev, so we had actually no idea what you'd all be discussing. We just sort of had our problem that we wanted to articulate for possible solutions. What we'll do after that is Simon and MIT will be collecting the cards. And again, as we said with the breakouts yesterday, we'll try and do short summaries of your discussions for posting up on the UNICEF page or on the Web4Dev page. But then at the same time, we're probably going to take this into further research of your proposed solutions, and then look to creating, again, through our project with MIT, 1 or 2 pilots to start really testing the applicability of proposed solutions as a way of improving our supply system. So how we'll actually split you all up, I have no idea.
There's also time for questions. There's time for questions if we want.
After?
Right now, if we want.
Why, it's not ready? Oh, okay. Well, it says here refreshments were ready about. Okay, yeah, we can do that. And then afterwards, I think, as far as the groups are concerned, people who are interested in the track and trace stream, it's with Simon. Monitoring and evaluation is with Mahfoud. Emergency responses is with myself. And the design in context is with Deborah there, if Deborah would like to just wave her hand around. And if you can sort of obviously split up kind of evenly so that not everyone is sitting on track and trace and the rest of us are talking to ourselves, that would be useful. So I guess if we have the time then, if there's questions from any of you to the panelists who've just presented, then please go ahead.
I just wanted to know, is the Android system available yet? Yeah, you can order the phone online now, and they'll send you one. You can also buy it in the T-Mobile stores.
No, I mean your software.
Oh, it's actually already been downloaded 200 times since midnight last night when our programmer put it online.
Where is it's on the Instead website?
No, if you go to the Android marketplace.
Oh, it's on their marketplace.
Google, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh, I think we have, there must be a couple phones that if someone wants to play with, they can take a look at. We already have the application already. One over there.
Jonathan, just a quick question. So the data that comes in through a basic voice and text phone, right? So it's just text, it's just straight text string data. And if you could just talk us through how it works, for the stepwise from the user side, that would be great.
So the example I was painting was in the case of with Simon's decision tree where one of the field workers has connectivity and perhaps an end user does not. So my scenario that I presented was around a field worker texting in perhaps once a day how many bed nets they had and how many they have left and what their if they picked up any that day. In that case, a field worker would text in a one-line SMS, and the spaces in the text, in between the text, is what allows the phone to parse the message. So the field worker would simply text in a one-line SMS. If the supervisor or administrator wanted to make a change to that form, they would have to have physical access to the Android phone and then could modify that form, add fields to it, subtract fields to it, and view the historical data. I think there's a question.
Any others?
Just this information you collect from the field can be transferred as a KML file, since it's going to be supported by Google. Is it supported by Google application or not?
Yeah, you could move the data into another application. So it's definitely only an end user solution that I painted there. So you need one of the other tools that Simon talked about in his presentation to utilize the other aspects of your supply chain management solution. So this data could be exported through GPRS if your phone had internet connectivity. Otherwise, it could be transported via USB to your computer or onto flash memory.
Flash memory. Thanks.